solve the inequality. We're going to solve inequalities that involve a greater than or equal to sign. This one involves a greater than or equal to sign. And it involves an absolute value sign. All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that the absolute value is isolated on one side. All right, so this one's already isolated on the left, and we're dealing with a greater than sign. What we're going to do here is we're going to split it into two inequalities. Obviously, if the inside is greater than or equal to 2, it's going to work. But another situation is if the inside here is less than or equal to -2, like -3, -4, -5, because when you take the absolute value of those numbers, -3, -4, -5, it makes a positive out of it, which is also going to be greater than or equal to 2. So whenever you have an absolute value isolated and you have a greater than sign, you're going to split it into two inequalities. So the first inequality, we're going to take the inside piece, the 2x minus 3. We're going to reverse the sign and make this negative. So less than or equal to -2. So if the inside piece is less than or equal to -2, it's going to make the inequality true. Or the obvious one is if the inside is greater than or equal to 2. So also do 2x minus 3 greater than or equal to 2. So it splits it into two inequalities. Now what you want to do is you want to solve each of these for x. Here we're going to add 3 on both sides. We'll get 2x less than or equal to 1. And then dividing by 2 on both sides, we get x less than or equal to 1/2. So if x is less than or equal to 1/2, it's going to make the inequality true. Let's solve this one. Add 3 on both sides. We get 2x greater than or equal to 5. And then dividing by 2 on both sides, we get x greater than or equal to 5/2. 5/2, 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So if x is greater than or equal to 2.5 or 5/2, it also makes the equation true. Now if you think about a number line here, we have two separate intervals. So if the problem asks you for interval notation, what you're going to do is you're going to write the interval notation for this, which is going to be -infinity to 1/2. The 1/2 is included because the equal sign is with the inequality. So we're going to use a square bracket. And then the word or, the symbol for that is a U type symbol there. And then you want to do this interval. Square bracket, since the 5/2 is included. And then comma, infinity. So as long as x is in either one of those intervals, it's going to make that inequality true. All right, so isolate the absolute value bars. If you have a greater than sign, you're going to split it into two inequalities. Let's work on this next one. This one, the absolute values are not isolated, so we need to isolate them first by adding 4 on both sides. The 4's in the middle are gone. 3 plus 4 is 7. This is a 7 right now. All right, now we have the absolute values isolated and we have a greater than sign. So since we have a greater than sign, we're going to split it into two inequalities again. So the first one, we're going to take the inside piece, reverse the sign around, and make this number negative. So it's going to be less than -7. Or we can have the inside just being greater than 7. We're going to solve each of these now. We're going to subtract 5 on both sides. Get -2x less than -12. We're going to divide by -2 here. Remember, dividing by a negative number on both sides is going to reverse the sign around. So it's going to be x greater than, and then -12 divided by -2 is +6. So solving this inequality, we get x greater than 6. So if x is greater than 6, it's going to make the inequality true. Let's solve this one. Subtract 5 on both sides. We get -2x greater than 2. We're going to divide by a negative number again. That's going to reverse the sign around. It's going to become less than. So dividing by negative 2 on the left gets rid of the negative 2. Reverse the sign around. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. So if x is less than negative 1, it's going to make the inequality true. Now if you think about a number line, negative 1 is to the left of 6. So if you're writing this in interval notation, you're going to write this one first. This interval for this one is negative infinity, comma, negative 1. We're going to use parentheses this time because there's no equal sign with the inequality. Like this one over here had an equal sign. That's why we use square brackets. But the parentheses means the negative 1's not included. And then the or is the U symbol, the union symbol. And then the interval for this would be 6, comma, infinity with parentheses. The infinity symbols always get parentheses. That's the answer to the second one. There you go.